When he was untangling those knots, that rope, I was like, that's symbolic of what his life is right now. He's untying a lot of knots.
To be
I didn't even pick up on that. What a great metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the difference.
That's the word I was searching for.
Here's the difference and similarity between me and Benny. I would have quit if I had to untangle that ball of knot. I would have just jumped off the boat and started swimming. But I didn't choose to be in that career. I chose to do this. So figure it out, Benny. God damn it, you're annoying. Okay. Welcome aboard another brand spanking new episode of Another Below Deck Podcast presented by Patreon. It's Below Deck Down Under. I'm a little hot right now.
Dylan, I think this would be the easiest way for us to do this. My backpack is right there. My notes are in it.
Oh, okay.
Can you grab it instead of me walking over you?
Yeah. I'm hot. I'm going to take a breath, walk away.
Sure.
I'll be back in a sec to talk about how much I fucking hated this episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good. Well,
Pat, why don't you go first?
Sure. Hey, did he announce what we were doing?
No.
Welcome aboard to...
I did that, but I just didn't say who I am, who Nick is.
Oh, okay. Well, Dylan's talking right now, and then Nick's... say hi, Nick.
Hey, everybody. Welcome aboard.
And I'm your favorite, Patty. Hi, everybody. Great to be here.
How
Permission to come
conceited
aboard.
of you, and I'm still hot and even hotter because of that comment. But yeah.
You're hot. Like as in mad and upset. Oh, I thought you were hot.
Me too.
No. I'm mad.
Oh.
I'll jump into thoughts and knots right now if you don't have any PSAs.
No.
What a terrible episode. I mean, unbelievably bad episode.
Hints of glory, though, to come.
You can talk about the hints. All I'm thinking is, terrible season so far. Okay. We've got... I would say 20 to 25 solid minutes of deck crew stuff.
Oh,
don't ever do that. Don't ever fucking do that. It's the worst part of the show. I'm sitting here thinking, am I watching a Discovery Channel, like a bad Discovery Channel show about the ins and outs, like how yachting works? Get fucking Jamie and Benny and Britt off my screen. I don't care.
Yeah. This isn't Wicked Tuna. Okay, this is called Below Deck.
Thank you. We want to see the sucking,
rats,
the fucking, and give me more Ryan. I'll get exhausted for hating him so much, but it's better than watching Jamie and Benny try to untangle a fucking rope.
That was ridiculous.
0 pots.
All right, I'm sorry, Nick, to jump in here, but Dylan, one other thing that they did, it showed they absolutely had no footage to cobble together an episode. They did 3 flashbacks. They did a flashback of how clumsy Magna is. They did a flashback of what a fuck up Benny is, and they
appreciated the refresher.
Unnecessary. He's still a fuck up. You don't need to remind us that he's been fucking up.
That's the other thing. Like they're incompetent, but not in a funny way. Like Benny sucks at his job.
Yeah.
Magda is profoundly dumb. Like it's just. I'm hot.
I get it.
I'm in a dark place.
Well,
right now.
Dylan, you're going to be positive though, because people are paying us to talk about this.
Well, I'll be funny about it.
Oh, okay. I know you'd be funny. I want to put more of a positive spin. You reminded me we help one another. When I was getting a little too negative about that Bachelor franchise and wanting to quit because it was horrible.
That's right.
You said, "Hey, Pat, come on, man. It's your job to make the best out of this."
Yep, I did. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm doing that for you now.
Thank you, man.
You got it, pal.
How many knots, Pat?
0. It was a horrible episode.
Are you trying to do a singing bowl right now?
I agree with Dylan. It was an absolutely awful episode.
Awful episode.
I was thinking I'm in my room, listening to my kid play with my wife in the other room, and I'm missing this special time to watch this horrible episode.
Right.
Ooh, shame on Bravo.
Hey, I gotta say, having gotten back from Argentina, didn't drink a ton of natural wine when I'm in Los Angeles. It's almost the only thing that I drink. So I have a tongue for kind of the old world kind of stuff, even though this is an old world. It's from Napa, but it's just not, a juicy natural wine. This is delicious.
Oh, absolutely.
Delicious. It's Napa Cab. How can you go wrong?
Well, that's what they do up there, brother.
Nick?
Guys, fellas. Today's expectations.
You got to clear your throat, Nick.
I didn't think
No.
You needed to.
He
I was aerating.
He slurped.
Oh.
I was aerating. You know, people
I apologize, Nick.
I could see how you would mix that up. If you weren't looking at Dylan, I could see it out of the corner of my eye.
People get super annoyed that I drink wine that way. I always kind of a little bit, but you're supposed to do that. There's nothing I can do.
You're putting oxygen back into the liquid, is what you're doing?
Yeah.
Aerate. You guys seen Dazed and Confused?
It's such a beautiful thing, wine. It's such an ancient thing. I mean, I really can't think of a more joyous occasion than getting around with a couple of friends and just tipping back a couple bottles. But you do have to pay respect to the thing in your glass, and you have to suck it through your teeth.
Hey, if this episode runs about 22 minutes because there's nothing to talk about, let's insert. God, I can't think of the actress's name, but in the film Sideways, when she's with Paul Giamatti's character, she allows him to come back to
Sandra Oh?
No, the other one, the blonde.
To
go back to her apartment, and they have the camera fixated right on her talking about wine and life and the beauty and the process of creating this, and then the experience of it being shared by friends.
Yeah.
And the camera closes in closer and closer on her, and then it stops, and Paul Giamatti's character falls absolutely over for her after this thing, and it's just poetry.
Yeah, you love that movie so much, man.
I love it.
It's so not that
Any
good.
fans want to get me something, a gift or that you want to mail me or for Christmas or something?
Yeah.
Give me something to do with Sideways.
We got to get a P.O. box because some fans have been reaching out saying, hey, like one lovely woman has a dispensary that they're opening. Want to send us a bunch of weed.
We got to open that fucking.
We got to get that
it
fucking
open, man.
P.O. box. Just another expense of another podcast network. But I don't know if you guys could tell. We're trying to stretch a little bit right now. Trying to stretch.
No, I'm being my real, true,
We
authentic
have
self.
to get to Nick's pots and knots, though.
I do have to say, with Pat's love for that movie Sideways, I do worry about him trying to a lifelong journey to have his own rom-com type adventure up in wine country, where he gets in a fight with Shireen. He sees some down home hard working gal who also loves his she takes great pleasure in wine, and they fall in love, and they have a weekend, or maybe it's a sad drama, and he comes home and he lives a life forlorn with his two daughters at that time and wife who doesn't really truly have a passion for anymore.
Nick, it's so funny you say that. You're kind of putting on what my life could be. My life goal, my plan is to actually buy a property in Solvang where the film Sideways was filmed. I'm in love with that place. It's paradise. I brought Dylan up there a couple years ago. And
lifelong journey.
I was sharing my thoughts with my wife the other night. I said, we got life by the balls, honey. When we buy a place in Solvang, I'll drive up there on Thursday night. You'll bring the kids up on Saturday. She's like, whoa.
Yeah. What are you doing for the 36 hours before
I didn't even know I was saying that out loud.
Freudian, yeah. That's so funny.
That's exactly. See, I do. This episode, though, fellas, today's expectations are tomorrow's disappointments. Just like the Argentinian and Napa wines, these Below Decks, though the same name, are different products. I don't expect necessarily, I don't need sea rats sucking and fucking. If I see some real deck team drama, nearly a mutiny on our hands. I felt like I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a different type of drama. I'm learning about the boats and down under, and they go snorkeling and stuff. This episode sucks. 17 pots.
It's really bad.
17
episode.
pots.
Really, really bad episode. So last we left off, Benny was kind of doing the bitchy Benny thing that he does.
It was an impromptu employee review at a restaurant. The Sea Rat management loves to do that.
Second time Jamie has done that this season. It's not the time.
Let the man drink.
Yeah.
Enjoy your night out. Save it for the boat.
You know what? I don't like Magda. She annoys me how stupid and incompetent she is. I really hate Ryan. I mean, worst person we've ever had
I'm with
on
you
the
now,
show.
by the way. I nicknamed him the devil.
Yeah, he's absolutely horrible. But Jamie is... I don't hate Jamie. I just find him to be one of the more useless people we've had on the show in such a long time. He's just so boring. He's so bad. He reminds me of the bosun that we had on the one season of Below Deck Reg that got fired. What was his name?
It was like
Chandler.
He's very Chandler to me. Thank you, Rain Man. Just so boring. Just get off the boat.
He hides his Chandlerness under muscles.
Yes.
He's Chandler.
He's Chandler.
I'm going to have to differ with you on that. Okay, so
I'm going to go get more wine.
Sure. Just because you're a good deckhand doesn't mean you're ready to be the lead deck. What's the God? Bosun. because I believe Jamie's very competent at being a deckhand, but that doesn't mean you're good at being a manager, and I think that's the rub here. Chandler, if I can remember, was absolutely incompetent and didn't know what he was doing, and he wasn't a good manager, and those two things got him fucking fired.
Chandler worked on his dad's boat growing up, so he knew how to be a deckhand, but
doesn't
he
mean
didn't.
jack
He was
shit.
incompetent. But I agree with your assessment of Jamie. He's a lifelong cadet.
Yeah.
I bet, like on the police force, he's just one of the front lines guys. He's never going to be captain, police chief. I don't know the rankings, and the same thing on a boat.
Yeah.
And that's why Captain Jason needs to babysit.
All right, so
The second he takes his gas out of the pedal, his foot off the pedal, then
And always
things
remember,
start going awry.
So, remember last time we had left off, Ryan had called a guest a lazy cunt for wanting the shellfish removed from the tails. Everyone's happy that Ryan likes the food, and that gets him so excited that he drops his shot. Now, he spills his shot on the table. Someone comments on it, and he has like a fucking Jack Nicholson Shining kind of freak out. He is a piece of filth from Philly, and he's a sea rat, so it's literally impossible for him to not have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
And
right?
Well, Toomey disagrees with you. Well, obviously, not about the drinking problem, but about him. I mean,
Yeah,
when the
well,
shot is
Toomey's
dropped
out of her mind.
and someone comments on it, I believe he tells all the females at the table that they can shut up and go fuck themselves. And Toomey believes he couldn't possibly be this big of a piece of shit. And she sees the good in him, very much like Luke did with Vader in Return of the Jedi.
Sure.
She's already given us some
Such a great analog, because I think that Ryan is as evil as Darth Vader.
He killed younglings.
Yeah.
It's super evil. Toomey has already given us some sad stuff in her past, but I fear there's much more because she is showing a level of Stockholm syndrome only seen in people who have had decades in captivity.
Yeah.
It's her defense of Ryan.
I completely
is
agree
shocking.
with you.
Nick, she touches it on it at the tail end of the episode when Magna prompts her for what is her dating history, and we learned that there's some wreckage of there. She's attracted to bad people, which I always like how people frame it. I got a bad picker. Oh, is that what it is?
I just realized that we didn't get like a little sad stuff on her. We got one of the saddest. Her dad was assassinated
By the drug cartel.
Yeah. So never
Is that
mind.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
that's
started
right,
a pharmaceutical
Of course
company.
he was.
Okay, I didn't want to play this clip, but I do want to say something pretty horrible about Ryan, and I feel as though it'll be kind of unwarranted if we don't remind the audience how big of a piece of shit he is in a kind of visceral manner. So let's just play the clip of how he was behaving at dinner.
Why you gotta put me on blast?
Did I offend you?
Yo, yourself. Like I was being myself. I dropped my shot.
So f***ing negative right now, and it's irritating. Just.
You know what's irritating?
Then why don't you talk about it? Let's say
Why don't you f***ing shut up for a second?
Okay, Ryan.
Typical f***ing wannabe departments
Got you.
don't give a f*** what I go through.
Okay.
So f*** y'all.
Copy.
I really don't give a f*** what you think right now.
Ryan.
Not have my drink before.
The hat.
So your role, Chief Stu.
Ryan.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so just out of nowhere, I mean, this is the kind of like, I know I sound like an asshole, lobotomy candidate. I mean, the amount of fucking therapy and work you'd have to put in to make this human being functional and not acrid, like from core to brain to toes, is just not worth it.
I'm not going to defend him. I'm going to say there's definitely something that went on, and it's not just that his dad passed away on 9/11 in 2009. He obviously also hates women. So there's something going on with that.
Yeah.
Put that in with the drinking problem, and he's on the younger side, I want to say. His brain isn't fully developed. Again, I'm not making excuses for
When
him.
you're 36, your brain.
Oh, he's 36?
I mean, he can't be younger than that.
Well,
maybe 32.
The male brain isn't fully developed till 26.
25, yeah.
Yeah, so 11 years behind.
Yeah, so speaking of, what's up?
Ryan, you want to lobotomize him. I'm never for that type of extreme corporal punishment. I think he's just destined to live as like the manager of a college pizza place in Philly. He works till 2 a.m. Him and the rest of the kitchen staff do cocaine, maybe get laid by some of the wasted girls that come in.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't bother anybody there for the next 30 years. That's what his future should be. Except now he's going to get a little following and fucking people are going to pay him way too much money.
The problem is people on Instagram see some of them, I don't know who these people are, will see this as hot.
And he's embracing it on Instagram. There's like 2 levels of hating these people. There could be like what we see on the show and then how they react to how they're perceived on the show. And he's like jumping into it full steam, like, oh, he loves his lines. And like,
we got it. Pat, I'm telling you for this reason, and I know that this is how he behaves. There's no possible way that he couldn't love how he's coming off on television.
Well, narcissists do enjoy this.
For that reason, we got to talk to him. I need you to hit up Bravo because there's no way, I was thinking, oh, he might be a little coy and say, oh, I don't really want to deal with the heat right now. No, he loves this. Like, he'll be so down to
very
talk
much like
about.
Simple Chuck.
Totally.
He loved it. We're not going to answer that. And then 2 seconds later, he's like, all right, well, because he can't stop himself.
He has to talk about himself.
Brian, our producer, this is probably going to cost too much to produce, but I think it'd be a funny bit. Have Dylan and Ryan in the same room. Dylan has a hammer in his head, and he goes to hit Ryan in the head to lobotomize him. And Ryan says, who are you? And he says, I'm Nurse Ratchet, bitch.
Okay, so let's talk about the misogyny. Ryan is almost Ryan is almost blackout, and he's happy now. He tells Aisha that he's happy that he can tell her to fuck off and say horrific misogynistic things to her, and that they're totally fine. Ryan, I know that you miss your dad, but I want to just tell you that he's happy. He's in heaven. He's baking pies for people. But the reason why he is smiling so big is because you're not there, man. He hates you. He always hated you. And I think that's why you're such a disgusting human being. Now, to be fair to him, though, Aisha is flapping his scarf around his neck. She's doing the thing. And it's like, you're sending mixed signals here. Wow. You're emboldening him.
At this point, I think he'd already shown how far gone wasted he was at the end of the night. And she's looking at him like, you none of this means anything right now. So, I think she didn't worry about
I think she has a natural inclination to, smooth things over with niceties, and I just don't think it's very productive.
Well, all right, you want to talk about true narcissism. I don't know if you guys caught this.
She was saying, what? You're not, no, that's not okay.
But given the way that he's treated her, don't fucking flap his scarf around his...
I thought she was, doing it.
No, she was, being cutesy with him.
Yeah, I think he's probably trying to just push it away. Tomorrow will be another day, but... Get this, what Ryan
Sit in the hatred.
So Ryan, this was obviously in his drunken way an attempt to clear the air with Kermit, which is the point he was making was like, hey, I'm going to belittle you and demean you, and let's just push this aside because that's how we're going to work with each other. Then simultaneously go, but definitely don't ask me how many boats I've worked on, you stupid mouthy cunt, because that upsets me.
Right, that upsets
she doesn't get to do that. I thought we were this little back and forth that we have there, devil.
He's like, I'm going to make you a shit sandwich. You're going to eat the shit sandwich. And then you're going to make your own shit sandwich. And then eat that shit sandwich.
So can you not say that word or did you?
I said it wrong the first time. And then I leaned into it. I leaned into it.
So Culver and Jamie are, of course, trying to get the most punches on the machine. Looks fun. I'd say it's about technique, though, boys. Not all brute force. Figure out how to move your hips into the punch.
And even less technical fighting ways like those machines, you can game them. You just really need to be straight on.
Yeah.
When they're coming down at it with those hammer fists, it's antithetical to the hinge.
Right.
You just want straight on and it'll go up. I've seen people game it.
Today's episode is brought to you by Magic Mind. That's right. You guys know it by now, but some of you aren't using it. Ironically, you're not using it because you're dumb, because you're not using it. If you were using it, then you would know to continue to use it. I'm talking about Magic Mind, the once daily shot, the magical elixir that's going to help you knock stuff off your to-do list rather than see it grow. Quit procrastinating. What are you afraid of? That's anxiety because you're taking too much coffee and you're on like 6,000 milligrams of caffeine a day. Stop doing that. Magic Mind, in this 2-ounce shot of a matcha-based shot, it's only got 30 milligrams of caffeine, but it's going to give you a nice, focused, zen hum throughout the day so you can accomplish your tasks and you're not afraid of all the things that you are about to accomplish. Seriously, go get it right now. Go magicmind.co. Use promo code JASON for 20% off. That's magicmind.co, promo code JASON for 20% off, and start doing more and stressing less. And most importantly, please show the Sandy fans and the Bachelor fans that are Below Deck Down Under fans are the most rabid of all our fans. If you use promo code Jason at magicmind.co to get 20% off Magic Mind, we know you're better fans. Please.
Game the algorithm. So Magda texts her boyfriend, who she loves, but not enough to prevent her from grinding on other guys in her bikini, and that's when he sends her a picture back. It is a selfie of him in the background taken by a girl in the foreground. This is wild. I can't muster up enough care to care about how toxic this relationship is, but just imagine, everyone listening, if your partner did that to you. Something must be horrifically wrong with these two. But it's kind of like what, those dramatic people in your life. You have the couples that always fight, or you have the person that's always welcoming in negativity. You're just like, I can't even bother with it anymore.
The stupidest thing I've ever done in my relationship, total miscalculation on my part, was Dylan, you might have been there, Nikki, you've been there. We're in Vegas on a Corolla trip, and it's at one of those stupid gross hotels with the pool party. I don't know if you guys were there for that one.
I love gross hotels.
So there was a girl there, and that looked like my wife, and I made the mistake of telling my wife, because there was a picture taken with a group of girls, and I said, that girl's really nice, and she looked just like you. And she's like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, I told her. She was like, don't ever tell a girl that she looks like your wife, you pig.
But you see your mistake, right? That sounds like you're hitting on it. You're like, you look like the girl I'm spending the rest of my life with. I could barely tell the difference.
I see how that could be seen that way.
Yeah.
That it was my intent was not.
Do you mean you see how that's the only way it can be seen?
Yeah. Now, especially after I got yelled at and not talked to for 2 days.
Right.
But yeah.
I'm with Cherie on that one.
I'm stupid. It was stupid.
I'm with Cherie on being mad at him, but I also
like Magna's boyfriend.
I also completely believe Pat's obliviousness to what he was doing at the time. He's
I think Pat's too smart for that.
Yeah.
So
sometimes when he's holding court, anything's liable to come out of his mouth.
Yeah, that's true. Pat is very smart, but I mean, I remember being in the Bob Hope Burbank Airport. Pat is just. I was telling Cease, like, last time I was here, Pat was on such a high, he was getting fucking hammered at Guy Fieri's place, just slamming back mimosas, eating some type of breakfast taco, just dropping shit on the floor. Me and Cherie were like, who are you?
This was in the
why
airport?
do you think you can have a puddle of lettuce beneath you and someone else cleans it up? Like, what are you doing?
I love watching Pat talk to strangers.
All right, so
he has a level of interest that I could never muster.
I
care with certain people. I usually don't want to talk to anybody ever, but somebody like Wadada, give me 5 minutes and let me go. So the girls are in heat talking about wanting to fuck the captain with their tits out, and that's when Jamie walks in. He's like, sorry, and Britt's like, it's okay. Do you like what you see?
Yeah.
No, he didn't, Britt. He's told you that he's repulsed by you. Yeah, stop trying
Guys have a pretty big spectrum on their attractiveness. It
100%.
usually correlates with alcohol.
Yeah, and I just wish that somebody like Britt would have enough respect to not want to go anywhere near that spectrum, because the only place she'll land is in a place that inherently is disrespectful to her.
Right, which is on all fours.
Right.
Yeah, wearing a
No,
a helmet.
Don't look at... Yeah, that helmet, the disco helmet.
Yeah, don't turn back. Don't turn back.
I think it's disrespectful to assume that she doesn't want to be disrespected in such a way. She is begging for it. There's nothing she would like more than for Jamie to have his way with her.
But it's
messing up my pronouns.
It's pain that leads her to wanting that disrespect.
I think it's more just a dry spell, long dry spell.
I just think if a man openly, insultingly rejects you the way that Jamie did, even if you keep wanting it, it's a little problematic.
Hey, little quick personal story here. Kind of like the scenario that I gave that Jamie,
and we're at 24 minutes, which shockingly, we might have to hurry up.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So get this. I have this friend, her name shall remain nameless. She was dating, obviously he was a gay guy, and she was paying all his bills and letting her live with him in her apartment. And all the friends knew this guy was obviously gay, right? And one night we're all out, and she asked the question. She's like, hey, I got to ask you guys this question. I'll say his name. His name was Brooke. And she says, he only wants doggy style and anal.
So how does the story end?
Oh, he was gay. After he dumped her, he went and lived with a man and
Right.
died of a drug overdose.
Oh, I thought she was hideously.
I just
in the
knew that
face.
story was going to be so uplifting. So, she also speaks
He's
of
dead.
clinical depression if she doesn't get any dick.
Well, she wants to get her coochie smushed.
Getting high for the first time today.
Oh,
Secret
good
coming.
for you.
Congratulations.
All right, next day.
Next day.
Meanwhile, this is a big one. This is bad hosting, but you guys stop me wherever you want, or we can go back. Hot Captain walks his sexy ass down to compliment Toombs on the laundry, and Ryan watches people make pizza on YouTube when he should be prepping. Aisha speaks of laziness being a weak character trait in people. Couldn't agree more. That's why I hate it so much when I see it bubble up in myself. Magda tells Ryan about her boyfriend, and here goes Pizza Rat. Oh, you're jealous. You can fuck me if you want to. She's not going to fuck you, Pizza Rat. You're fucking hideous. You look like Lin-Manuel Miranda with a fucking liver sickness. It's fucking disgusting.
I think he has a little bit of Nick Vile there.
He does. He's like ugly Nick Vile.
He's ugly Nick Vile.
Yeah.
That's a batch. He was a bachelor. All right, one quick thing. I just want to back up on a couple things. So Kermit gives the devil the cold shoulder in the galley, and then we get a look back at Kermit's past.
Which we've had 4 times. She's been on 2 seasons.
Well, I don't think we need to cover it because it's on all C-Rats resumes.
Right.
Alcohol, divorce. It's what most of us put on our resume is experience with Excel sheet. You know.
Yeah.
It's like our third line of our repertoire.
I understand the Microsoft suite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
you don't need to put it there.
My father was killed in a drug cartel.
My sister was massacred by a Tommy gun in Bangkok.
It's on their resume.
Yeah.
You saw my gears turning earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know what hilarious riff you guys just had.
And I know the feeling.
But what I was looking for was Lynn No Melanin Miranda.
Yeah, 100%.
Ryan.
I don't know if it's scurvy that makes you like sickly white, but he looks like Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lynn No
bit.
Melanin Miranda.
Exactly.
Maybe if he dyed his hair blonde like Ryan.
All right, so
I worked it out.
where are we? Finally, Aisha goes up to tell Hot Captain that Ryan has been extremely problematic and is a pizza rat and a useless piece of shit. I think that's the transcript. Not sure, though. Couldn't be more proud of her. You have to rat on people when it's becoming this big of a problem. Don't rat if you don't need to. This is a situation where you need to. Toilet overflows again. Benny obviously cries out for Daddy to come help. He says he wants to quit again, but thank God Keith Stone is on the job.
The plumber.
Now, I love Culver. I think he's got a great can-do attitude. But you don't need to put a mullet on and shove pillows in your shirt to fix a
He's
toilet,
here to
dude.
entertain us. He's the entertainment director, Dylan. Please. I would expect nothing less of him. I want to say this about Culver. All right, he is a little goofy, and perhaps this little shtick could get old for a lot of people. You make you go like, will you just get the fuck away from me? Why are you always on, dude? You don't know who is the real Culver. I do want to say this. Very much my second Star Wars reference. I would like to clone him because I think it would be a better people. He's positive. He's nice. He's hardworking. In shape.
Yeah.
I don't
Comes from a good family.
Like this is who we want to aspire to be.
Yeah.
I want to talk to him. He might be the most boring interview we've ever done, but
I think it would be pretty boring. Culver, did I skip the preference sheet meeting
You
entirely?
skipped the preference sheet meeting
shit.
entirely.
Holy fuck.
I think it was in that meanwhile, which was a necessary meanwhile. But I think right off the heels of
Okay.
that meanwhile was the
Well,
preference.
thank God we can
Let's
just
get
say
to
it now.
it.
Let's get to the
preference sheet
meeting.
meeting.
Dun, 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 dun. Janelle Scarlett, currently Melbourne, Victoria, is a high-flying aerospace engineer from Houston, Texas, who no wonder he fell in love with aerospace, who is celebrating a newly appointed role with NASA, going back home, that will have him leaving Australia and returning home to the U.S. He could also end up in Florida, possibly. Janali describes himself as first-generation fancy, and he expects the highest quality cuisine, endless top-shelf liquor, and a once-in-a-lifetime trip to the Great Barrier Reef to scuba and snorkel.
Got it.
Joining Janali will be a few of his American expats, Tom, who calls himself Tom Gay from the USA, is an actor and a model known for being the face of numerous Australian brands.
Really do not like this guy.
I like him.
You
Sarah,
would think that he's the primary, the one with brains and merit and value, but
Right.
he's not.
Okay.
in his head, he's the main character.
Yeah, exactly.
Sarah, originally from Connecticut, is a self-described country girl with a discerning palate for luxury.
Stop what you're doing right now. We have to talk about
That
this.
is pretty disgusting. Can I finish the preference sheet
No,
meeting? Yes,
you
I'm
cannot.
going to
So we have a Napa
tease an
cab.
ex-U.S. Army soldier. Talk about it after the preference
All
sheet
right.
meeting. It'll really distract people. They won't even be able to keep the preferences straight. Now he's swirling it. Is a U.S. Army soldier who has been cruising the ocean all of his life. Rounding out the charter are Ludia, a former pro soccer player turned boss lady physique. Matt, a professional basketball player. Gabrielle, the former winner of the Australian beauty competition, Miss Multiverse. And Danny, an account manager who is the queen of extravagant vacations, most likely compensating for the fact that her job sounds a lot less cool than the rest of her friends. These guests have traveled all over the world and are no strangers to high-end super yacht service. They expect only the absolute finest food, service, and the Great Barrier Reef dive of their lives. Night one, they want handmade pasta. Gabriel is gluten and lactose intolerant. And the final night, they want a prom-themed party with water activities on all days, and of course, a journey to the outer reef, which will land at Whitehaven Beach. That concludes the preference sheet meeting. Now let's talk about what Pat did.
So why don't you say it? Because
He has no respect for wine.
I know what you did is trash.
What's worse than you're okay? You're so disgusting.
Pat.
He has no respect for wine. What's worse, having no respect for wine or pretending to have a tremendous amount of respect for wine, wanting to buy property in Solvang, and dumping
good pun.
Dumping mango White Claw into a nice bottle of Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. What's worse?
Well, Dylan, I don't think you should ever be so snobby that you'd have such reverence for a single bottle of wine. I mean, you don't even know what where this was produced.
Vivino did. It has a 4.0 rating. That's fine, and it's $40.
Oh, I paid that much for that bottle? Jesus Christ! Why am I poisoning it with claw?
I don't.
The question I'm wondering.
I don't have a knowledge for wine, but I do have a respect and even a fear for wine. And I know I would not pour mango White Claw in it.
You should see what I do on Friday nights.
Thank you.
I usually throw a little OJ and probably $80 bottles of red to make myself a little sangria.
You know, that's way more acceptable. Oh, way more
Sounds
acceptable.
delicious, actually.
Oh, it is.
By the way, I'm so upset that I agreed to go on Friday night.
Oh, tomorrow? It's not. It's happy hour, dude.
We're gonna be out of there by. It's not gonna turn into a whole night thing.
No. I usually got about an hour and a half in me.
Okay.
You got whatever decision you want. You can leave whatever time you want.
No,
because I all night.
You know, we were at a meeting the other day, and I was giving people shit for not inviting me to things, which is something.
Then he got invited to something.
Then I got invited to something, and I do not want to go.
Oh, come on! You want to go? You don't want to go?
No, I don't want to go. I got 5 episodes to edit. I just got back from Argentina. I just want to have a night where I watch a show with my wife.
You know, I get it. Well, dude,
I haven't done that in months.
Dude, I feel you. I don't know how you showed up after getting off a fucking travel day.
I had
like
to
you
take
came
fucking
here.
20 milligrams of Adderall. It'd fucking blow my brain out of the top of my head.
I get it. You deserve that, but I promise you, if we start at 4:30, you'll be out of there at 6. How's that sound?
I don't believe you. I'll have guilt, and it'll go to 7:30 or 8.
Don't feel guilty.
Mark my words. All right, so
Excited to hear about it next week's APS.
Oh yeah.
me too. So, where are we? So the cause of the toilet overflowing is a white glove that somehow fell in the toilet and destroyed the plumbing. Now, Magda's wondering how this could have happened. You're incredibly stupid. That's why it happened. Am I being too why do I? Maybe it's misogynistic. I don't know.
You call guys dumb too.
Magda's inflated sense of pretty and stupidity bother me so much.
I think the stupidity. I think she's stupid. Don't get me wrong, but I definitely think she puts on the stupidity in a hot Amelia Bedelia type way,
right.
knowing that she doesn't really. This is a stopgap. To then influence. With her real Latina soul and decently good looks and height she's going to make some money selling some tummy tea.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have to fucking do the laundry, and she'll be funny while she sucks at it.
So bothersome. So Aisha wants Magda away from the paying guests. Makes perfect sense, but unfortunately for Aisha, she is terrible at leading people. Her managerial style is, underlings, you tell me what you want to do, and I will kowtow to what you want to do.
Yeah. Backfired.
I think she's earning her stripes. She's seeing the mistakes that she's making, and she's going to turn into a hard ass.
Hopefully. It's really the only way to lead people. You just have to be a dick.
You got to
sometimes.
experience it. You can't read this stuff in books.
No.
You got to
you
make
can't.
every mistake in the book before you become an expert.
All right, so Hot Captain gets pretty pissed off at his crew for making him wait. They undock.
This is when the show really starts going off a cliff.
I mean,
you guys aren't going to do anything in this episode.
He goes down, tells Benny to not try to kill everyone ever again. Benny says it's from Hot Captain and it's uplifting, so it's fine.
He likes his management style as opposed to Jamie.
Eye roll. Shut up, Benny. God damn it.
It's really disgusting how the once angsty child is now cuddling up to Pop in his PJs and watching some sport games.
I've been in work situations where there is no positive reinforcement. I don't believe in it's your job, do it. You don't need to get praised for it. But Benny seems to need adoration and kind of a pat on the ass at every turn, and it's disgusting.
Well, makes
me feel like an old man watching him.
Yeah,
really.
But he's probably the same age as you, honestly.
Yeah, well, he's got a broken brain because his parents died tragically in the same 6-month span.
I think he had a broken brain,
really?
and he
I didn't know that.
falls back on that.
I didn't know that. Both his parents died?
Yeah. His parents both died very, very close together.
He keeps it pretty close to the vest.
Yeah, I guess he does. You know, when he was untangling those knots, that rope, I was like, that's symbolic of what his life is right now. He's untying a lot of knots.
To be
I didn't even pick up on that. What a great metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the difference.
That's the word I was searching for.
Here's the difference and similarity between me and Benny. I would have quit if I had to untangle that ball and knot. I would have just jumped off the boat and started swimming. But I didn't choose to be in that career. I chose to do this.
Yeah.
You know? So figure it out, Benny. God damn it, you're annoying. Okay. I think we're almost done. I'm not sure, though. Before we
get a good Benny point, I can't remember.
Anything before we get to lunch?
Well, I just want to say the guests arrive and pina coladas as opposed to champagne is served.
Split pina coladas too, not emulsified. I hate that in a pina colada when the pineapple juice and the ice split from the coconut cream.
Gross.
You can see it, and it's just that needs to be stirred by the guests.
Dylan, when we go out to that happy hour tomorrow that you don't want to go to, I'm gonna order a pina colada.
Do they make them there?
I'll make them make it.
Where are you guys going?
Not saying.
Laurel Tavern. Do you want to go?
No.
You don't want an $18 burger?
I too want the invite, but I'm assuming you're going with your work friends.
Yeah.
And I find them
Old Hoffer's coming.
That is fun, but I find the rest of them incredibly dull. But I also want to be invited. Again, I feel left out when I'm not invited. But then I'm there, and I'm like, what? Why did I do that?
Consider yourself invited. So, yes, the guests do arrive. I'm so sorry that I'm
going to watch
over
LFA.
that.
Sorry.
LFA?
It's minor league MMA.
Okay, that is just fucking crazy. Magda, who wants to be on service, is given the platter of drinks to offer the guests. She just refuses it. What is happening? All right, so lunch is going to be shellfish, but before we get there, we've got the gluten-free cracker gate.
Oh, yeah.
Magda gets the kinds of crackers wrong, and then just begins arguing with her boss in front of Ty Gay from USA or whatever the fuck his name is.
I know we're going to wrap this up in 5 minutes, but quick story. So, first, just surmise what happened here. So Kermit clearly says over the radio to Magda, those are not gluten-free. And Magda says, great, they are. And then serves them. And then later at the bar, after they'd all realized that they possibly put this person
in front of paying guests.
In front of a paying guest, argues with Kermit that... Kermit says, I told you not to, sir. And she goes, no, you said they weren't.
All right, so speaking of food, Pizza Rat killed it again. He threw a bunch of fucking sea bugs in a pot of water and said, you pick the fucking meat out of the shells. That's all you're getting. This guy is a fucking idiot. Bread, salad, anything, you stupid fuck. You want to just put lobster on the table and call it a day. Now, Sheffy goes up to see if they're enjoying themselves. They are obviously not. Ryan sucks, but so does Gay Tom. Stop being a bitch. Stop being a bitch to people who are serving you. Yeah. Like, Aisha brings up the bread, and he's like, oh, these are small pieces. Then take 2.
Yeah.
Don't.
By the way, being kind of like picky, that's not saying that you're of value or wealth as a human being. Like, it's a bad look.
It is not.
It's
a terrible look.
By the way, so Ryan answers his response to them wanting carbs is, of course, with respectful and positivity that he's we've been accustomed to see him. Or he says, and I quote, "What the fuck is their problem?" And then later, "This isn't Red Lobster." No, it's not. It's a
no. It is though. There's no salad at Red Lobster. It's biscuits and seafood. What you're doing is Red Lobster. That's the ceiling of your culinary abilities. Go make pies. And go make pies.
And this is no different than all the other times he's acted up in the galley, but Hot Captain was in there this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ryan's doing this thing that people do to you, and they think they're relating to you, but they're really just turning you off completely.
Oh,
yeah.
And Captain Jason's like, "Oh, it fucking is a Red Lobster."
Yeah.
And shit. And
well, no, he's like, "Hey, can we have some sides next time and put enough food out so the guests don't have to ask for food, please?"
Cap, can you believe these fucking assholes up here?
They're just little piggies, and they'll eat whatever shit we give them, right, Cap? Yeah, you're fired. We're gonna call Leon, who's also a prick, but better than you.
Oh my God, it is Leon who's coming back, isn't it?
I think so.
I think that is possibly a spoiler. I think I saw it months ago.
All right, so Aisha finds Magda with white gloves in her back pocket, and again, and she is also taking time out of her workday to clean up her room. Jason sends out the flares for a backup chef. As we mentioned, he was hitting up one of his many life partners around the globe, but you can do anything with a Chiron in post. So the guests go around a corner after they've arrived at this beach picnic, Whitehaven Beach, the most photographed beach in Australia, and Jamie takes his shirt off to go save them. Hardo, what are you going to do? They're football fields and football fields away from you.
The thing I don't think you realize, what's going on? The wine really is a different type of coat. But some people stand in the darkness, Dylan, afraid to step into the light. Some people need to help somebody.
Who are you quoting?
Don't you worry. He was doing Baywatch. He ripped his shirt off and he ran into the ocean. Those are the lyrics to the theme song to Baywatch.
Okay. All right. So we have to get back to Shitface. He's going to do a 7-course dinner for the evening, not coursed out at all.
I'm always ready.
It's going to be family style, 7 plates at one time. And he's doing this because he is once again in I'll show you mode. He says these guests want quantity over quality, and a producer asks the very reasonable question, if you're a trained chef, why can you not do both of those things? He scoffs and says something about gluten.
Gluten or whatever the fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
I believe is his response. I'm paraphrasing. Yeah, that's what he learned.
I'm tiring of him. I'm tiring.
I've grown weary.
What he's learned from that lunch service, Dylan, as you pointed out, is not that he's a lazy piece of shit and a narcissist.
Yeah.
But the guests want, as you said, quantity over quality.
So we've gone from Red Lobster to Sizzler. So we're at Sizzler now. He's going to just put meatballs in taco shells and just make a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. There's some seafood buffet on Western.
I don't like seafood buffets. We've talked about it so much. Just... All right. So Ryan says you can't. We covered this. This is the end of the show.
Yeah. Did you kept Hot Captain Jason playing online chess?
Yes.
That was funny.
Who gives a fuck? The whole end of this episode. I'm not even going to read my notes. It's all deck stuff. It's Hot Captain Jason playing chess, literally playing chess and waiting for them to do their job. Below Deck, Peacock. Do better next week.
Well, there's a reason why it's on Peacock, Dylan.
We will try to do better next week, but I think we had a lot of fun here. Jump in the comments. Let us know what you thought. Be nice, be mean. You're paying us.
I want to see how many people listen to the end. Hey, if you heard the sound of old Patty's voice here, go once again. Let's do another round on Another Below Deck Podcast Facebook group. Start taunting all the cheapos. Tell them
I love that.
How good Down Under is and how you're peeing your pants. You're laughing so hard. And how
should we do like a keyword? Like, should people just randomly start posting words in the Facebook group?
Sure. Let's do it. What would the word be?
Red Lobster.
Yeah. Thoughts. Red Lobster. ... Thoughts.
Love that. So if you made it to the end, just go on the Facebook group and
Let us
write
know.
Red Lobster ellipses thoughts. You can put a question mark or another ellipses, exclamation, however you want to punctuate it. But I think it's a lot of fun, actually.
And also unrelated, if you made it this far, in the comments of the Patreon video or audio, comment your favorite breakfast item. It's a completely separate thing.
Okay, I like that. Okay. All right. Hey, thanks for getting to the end of the podcast. We love you for supporting us. Genuinely can't thank you enough. Can't believe that we get to do this and make money. It's because of you guys. We'll see you soon. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Crepe.
Pat, say goodbye.
Tacos.